From there, I'll provide further instructions. Also, if you see or hear anything strange or unusual, ignore it to the best of your ability. I'll talk to you once you reach the designated area. Good luck. If you are new to God's basement, trust the operator who will guide you. I see you found your way to the Blue Room. I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding it. I see you found a flashlight. Past this door, things can get quite dangerous. Your memories from your past life are still probably blurry, but they'll start coming back shortly. For the time being, make your way down through the hallway. I highly advise you not to spend too much time looking around. If anything makes an attempt to get your attention, ignore it to the best of your ability. If you see anything or anyone approach you, do whatever is necessary to avoid contact with that entity. Most importantly, do not, I repeat, do not acknowledge their existence. If you follow these guidelines, you should be just fine. Give me a minute or two to unlock the door. Once the screen shows that it is unlocked, you may proceed. I'll see you again soon. Good luck. In other news, a car crash resulted in the death of a grandfather and an infant child. Authorities reported that the car swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. The only survivor was the grandmother of the infant child. Although she suffered major injuries, she is currently in stable condition. Authorities also reported that the grandfather was driving the vehicle and that alcohol might have been involved in the incident. I'm glad you made it through in one piece. Whatever you saw might have jogged your memory a bit, even though all of it occurred before you were born. Your parents, Neil and Sarah Young, had a son named Kevin. Your grandparents were looking after him when an unfortunate incident occurred. After losing their only son, your parents decided it would be best to create some distance between your grandmother. Although she tried her best to seek their forgiveness, the grief they felt was too painful. For a long time, they stayed out of contact with your grandmother. After a few years, they had you, James Young. They still were quite distant with your grandmother, possibly afraid the same incident might happen again. I don't want to bore you too much with those details. There is something I require from you. For you to unlock more of your memories, you need to go deeper into God's basement. To do that, you need to retrieve a security card to get past the door to your right. Fortunately, there is one down the hallway to your left. Just follow it all the way down, past the area with the red lights, and it should be in a storage room filled with shelves. Once you retrieve it, bring it back and slide it across the panel next to the door. I know you still have your suspicions, but I swear all your questions will be answered. Once you have a complete understanding of your past life, I'll tell you what God's basement really is, but you have quite some ways to go. Keep doing exactly as I...
In other news, a car crash resulted in the death of a grandfather and an infant child. Authorities reported that the car swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. The only survivor was the grandmother of the infant child. Although she suffered major injuries, she is currently in stable condition. Authorities also reported that the grandfather was driving the vehicle and that alcohol might have been involved in the incident.
you're okay. That looked like it probably hurt. Good news is, this room looks relatively safe. I also have some more good news. You're going to be exploring your early childhood memories. For the most part, you were raised by your grandmother. A good chunk of your memories have manifested themselves in the form of journal entries. Read those carefully as they represent your thoughts and emotions at the time. You probably thought you'd be stuck in that dimly lit, creepy office area forever. At least you're getting a change of scenery. God's basement tends to manifest itself in an unusual way. The more you remember about your childhood, the creepier things can get. Remember when I asked you to ignore anything unusual? Well, that was just a joke. It's obviously there for a reason. The only reason I said that was to frighten you. I find it quite amusing. Well, I should probably wrap this monologue up. Find more about your past, and one last thing. Good luck. In other news, last weekend, a brutal crime was committed in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The two victims were a young couple, recently turned parents, that were viciously stabbed while sleeping inside their bedroom. Authorities reported that the bodies were mutilated to the point of being unrecognizable. The two also left behind an infant son. Currently, there are no suspects or leads as to who committed the murder, but authorities are adamantly investigating the situation.
In other news, the grandfather and an infant
Pain. Are you full of it? Patience. Are you out of it? James, when will your suffering end? You wanted her to die, didn't you? Not for her sake, but for your own. You yearned for her death, not because her suffering would cease. It was because yours would cease as well. While sifting through some old boxes, you found an interesting set of documents that revealed the truth about your past. Your grandparents were involved in an accident that killed your grandfather and your infant brother. It wasn't your grandmother's fault entirely, but your parents couldn't help but put the blame on her. With no family or friends left, living a hopeless and bleak existence, your grandmother decided to murder them. With your parents out of the way, she could raise you all by herself. Her desire was selfish and evil. That was all you needed. A way to justify her death, a way to break the burden of taking care of her. Do you remember what you did? I'll walk you through it once more, just in case you've forgotten.